Episode 58. Can you ever speak the truth? As Kathy's hand reached across the table, Alex quickly pulled his hand away. Kathy was slightly stunned. This was not at all what she had expected. She thought she would try again to grab Alex's hand. She had no doubts that she could win him back. She looked at Alex and saw him smiling at her. Kathy smiled awkwardly. He's smiling at me. He's pretending not to care that I left him for Billy, but I think he must be still hurting inside. But he won't even let me touch him. He wants more reassurance from me. Or maybe he can see right through me. Stop worrying. I just need to convince him more. She stared into Alex's eyes and, with a sincere expression, she said, You might not believe me, but even when I was with Billy, I never stopped loving you. I always felt that we would end up together, but I just couldn't stop myself. Alex couldn't believe what he was hearing. You must be having a mental breakdown. You can't even control your own body? Do you think I'm going to fall for such ridiculous nonsense? You said yourself that I might not believe it, so you already know I'll think it's garbage. Alex took a sip of his drink, and with a small smile said, Then you're saying that you had no choice but to go to the hotel with him? Kathy's expression froze. It seemed like Alex was still upset about her and Billy. She tried to think quickly. I know you're still upset that I left you for Billy. Looking back, I know how stupid I was to do that. How could I have gone with such a horrible person? I was an idiot. Too naive. To get Alex's sympathy, Kathy even tried to demonstrate her regret by slapping herself a few times. Stop hitting yourself. Kathy saw that she was hitting her face pretty hard, so he frowned and grabbed her hand. Ah, so you can't bear to watch me hurt myself, can you? Are you feeling guilty now? Let's see if you try to get away from me now, Kathy thought. She took the opportunity to grab Alex's wrist. Alex, let me tell you a secret. Although Billy and I lived together, I never slept with him. Do you know why? Kathy's eyes lit up as she looked at him. Because he can't. Ignore his arrogant appearance. In reality, he's useless. Every time I took off my clothes, he finished before he even touched me. Kathy. Alex hated Billy, so he couldn't help feeling some pleasure when he heard this. I've never actually been touched by a man before, Kathy said shyly. Alex laughed to himself. I can't believe her audacity. If it was up to you, you'd still be with Billy now. And you're trying to tell me that you've never been with a man? Kathy, oh Kathy, can you ever speak the truth? Kathy looked at Alex quietly. What she meant was obvious. Surely that would win any man back without hesitation, she thought. Why hasn't Alex made a move yet? Why isn't he saying anything? Maybe Alex feels he's not good enough for someone as beautiful as me. Maybe even though I've hinted to him that I'm willing to take him back, he still doesn't dare try anything. It appeared that if she wanted to win Alex back, she would need to try even harder. Actually, I've been feeling terrible about the way I treated you, and I want to make it up to you. Kathy stood up and walked to Alex's side, looking into his eyes. She bent down, intentionally revealing her cleavage, and said in a seductive voice, After drinking so much, I'm sure we both need to use the bathroom. The restroom here is quite large. Plenty of room for 2 people. Under the dim light, her snow-red lips looked especially alluring. She even used her slender fingers to lightly stroke Alex's face. Let's go, Alex. She bit her lip with her white teeth, desire shining in her eyes. If it was anyone else, they would have dragged Kathy to the restroom by now. Alex, however, pushed Kathy's hand away and said with a smile, I don't want to go to the bathroom yet. You can go by yourself. Kathy was stunned. She was angry. What does Alex mean by that? I've tried everything I can think of to make it up to him, but he's still not forgiven me. Or is he too insecure to be attracted to someone as beautiful as me? Whatever the truth was, Kathy could not accept it. Alex, what exactly do you mean? Her expression instantly changed to one of anger. Nothing really. I just wish you would behave with a bit more dignity. Thinking about what Kathy said just now, Alex felt disgusted. What on earth had he seen in her before? "I don't believe that you really don't like me anymore. If you promise to treat me well, I'll be yours again." Kathy was so desperate to win him back that she laid all her cards on the table. Alex felt nauseous again. "I'm sorry, I already have Debbie." He had not changed his mind. "You..." Kathy gritted her teeth as she looked at Alex in frustration. She thought, previously Alex was a dog that I could order around with just a wave of my hand. But now, no matter how much I beg, this loser doesn't even seem to care about me. Kathy felt like a piece of shit with everyone looking down at her. Her nose was sore, and tears were about to start streaming down her cheeks, but she refused to let him see them. "If I cry in front of Alex now, I'll look like a real loser and he'll pity me. I can't cry in front of him. Alex, how dare you look down on me? I don't really like you that much. Don't think you can just reject me and walk away. Do you think I'm desperate to be with you? Well, I'm not. I just want your money. You'll never be with me now." Kathy wanted to belittle Alex and walk away, but when she thought of his money, she forced herself to swallow her anger. She sat in front of him and crossed her legs. She looked into his eyes and said, "Okay, please pretend I didn't say all of that. I know I hurt you when we broke up, but please, can we still be friends? I want to ask you for a favor. Please, will you help me?" "Tell me what you want." Alex shrugged. He had already guessed that Kathy wanted him to give her $350,000. They'd been together for a while before, so he knew how her mind worked. "I broke up with Billy, that piece of trash, and he wants me to give him $500,000. If he doesn't get it, he's going to get one of his friends to kill me, so I really need to borrow $500,000 from you." $500,000? Alex sneered in his heart when he heard this. He thought, in the cafeteria, I heard Billy clearly demanding $350,000 from you, but now you're asking for $500,000 from me. Alex had been preparing to give Kathy the money for free, but at this moment, he realized that she was still playing him for a fool. He felt that he was being used. "Sorry, I don't have that much I can give you," Alex said lightly. "How can you not have that much? Didn't you donate more than $100,000? Kathy asked desperately. Alex must be bullshitting. "All the money's been donated, so there's no more," he responded. "You..." Seeing the smile on his face, Kathy could not contain herself. "Didn't you win a necklace worth $200,000 yesterday? Give it to me to pawn for the money. I promise that my father will return it to you soon." "I already gave that necklace to Debbie. It's not mine anymore. How can I take back a gift to my girlfriend?" "You trash, get it back from me!" Kathy screamed into Alex's face. "Kathy!" Alex shouted. He looked at her with a mocking smile in his eyes. "It's your own fault that I'm refusing to lend you the money. Anyway, where is there a law that says I, Alex, must lend you money?" Kathy was left speechless by his words. "All right, I wondered why you agreed to meet with me so readily. Now I realize that you didn't come to help me but to make fun of me, right?" Kathy was livid. She picked up the glass of wine from the table and threw it at his face. "Alex, you lowlife!" She then picked up her bag and left without looking back. Alex wiped the wine off his face and watched Kathy leave. There was a hint of sadness in his eyes. He picked up his drink and finished it in one gulp. He paid the bill and chatted a little while with the waiter, who told him that this bar, the Angel, was up for sale. Alex was surprised because the bar was very popular among the students and was a profitable business. In a low voice, the waiter explained to him, "Didn't you know the bar was previously protected by the Azure Dragon Society? Last month the society was ruined and the bar lost its protection. The owner is really scared that she could have a lot of trouble in the future. The boss is really beautiful and definitely needs the protection. Her only choice is to sell the bar." So that's the reason, Alex thought as he left the bar. "I like this bar. It's such a shame that they're closing because of the Azure Dragon Society," he thought. Then he had an idea. "Why don't I take it over? I'll buy it from the owner, and that'll be some compensation for her." With this thought in mind, Alex walked back to the door of the bar. Just then, a bright red Porsche stopped in front of the entrance. A tall and beautiful woman got out of the Porsche. The doorman immediately ran over to her with an ingratiating smile on his face. The woman threw her car keys at him and walked toward the bar with long strides. She was elegant and had an air of confidence about her. She looked like a model. She wasn't intentionally showing off, but her innate confidence and elegant posture were hard to ignore. Alex was taken aback by her beauty. The doorman of the bar greeted the elegant lady. "Lady Carter, welcome." She only nodded slightly in response. "Excuse me, please." The woman wanted to enter the bar, but Alex stood in front of her, blocking her way. Then Alex came to his senses and realized what he was doing. He quickly stepped aside and said, "I'm sorry." With a faint smile, the beautiful lady walked in. Alex watched her walk by and softly murmured to himself, "She's so beautiful." Her face was snow white and her eyes were sparkling, although cold. Her features were perfectly proportioned, and Alex's first impression was that she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen.